All right. Yeah, my throat is cleared out today, so without any other problem from last week. But anyway, shalom, shalom. All praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahwashai, Ba'asham Acha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, teaching 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel, and salutations, all your sincere camp. And it's a brother about one back again, the Hebrew Israelites, okay, coming in week in and week out, bringing out this gospel of the truth, the 100% truth of the gospel of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahwashai. Okay, Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, the creator of heaven and earth, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, the God which the scriptures speak of, and his son Yahweh, which the world ignorantly and willfully calls Jesus Christ, and the Racha Kwadash, which is the Holy Spirit. Okay, and this is the 21st of January 2021, the year of the turning up of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahwashai. And a lot of things have been happening through the Spirit. Okay, events, in prophecy, events within the nation as well. Okay, all kinds of things going on. I just recently saw a news article going into how Austria will be the first people to fully implement the YAV mandates, and I'm going to go do a video going into that. Okay, but that's not what I'm going to go into now. I just want to speak a little bit on that because I was talking about the same thing last week and the same thing again this week, because that's what we go through week in and week out, but always talking about the same thing, prophecy. All right, so yeah, let's start from there. Let's just use that as a little bit of warm up. Let's go into that word prophecy a little bit. Use that as a little warm up. Okay, as we are easing into this camp, this lesson right now. So let's start from there. So what I'm going to do is I want to get this word, prophecy. So I'll get this. I already know what the word prophecy means. Okay, it means to say before. Okay, to speak of something before it happens, and that's basically what we have been sent out here to do. Okay, it's right here. Prophesy, speak by divine inspiration, foretell future events, and that's beautiful right there. Because now what we're going to do is, we're going to get on Sikari a little bit, because that right there cuts them. Because basically, what Sikari is trying to say indirectly is that we are not prophesying, okay? Because what scripture says, that all scripture, all right? Let me get that. Which of course, that term was spoken by, or that precept was brought up by the Apostle Paul, which these Al-Azhar and the like don't even believe in, even with all the wisdom that Paul dropped in the scriptures, man. That kind of thing where the Apostle Paul was broke down deep mysteries for us now, for us to understand. A lot of things that you see in the scriptures, like Hebrews 7th chapter, 1 Corinthians 14, 1 Corinthians 15, speaking in tongues, going into love and charity, going into the sacrifice of our Lord Yahushua, going into even the relationship of Jacob and Esau. The Apostle Paul broke it down perfectly for us to understand. But yeah, you still have these other camps out here, have this Sicaria, and then they are telling you that that the Bible isn't the complete word of the Most High. That the word of the Most High is in the Bible, but the Bible isn't the complete word of the Most High. But this is the book of 2 Timothy 3, verse 16, and it reads, all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. And I didn't say some, okay? I didn't say half, because when you are dealing with the scriptures, you're supposed to deal with the 100% of the scriptures, the whole book, okay? Because even the scriptures tell you that the whole, let me get that one as well. So this is the book of John 5, verse 39, and it reads, search the scriptures, for in them ye think ye have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And the whole scripture is this whole book, man, including the Apocrypha. So yeah, right now, the normal KJV. Okay, we're talking about when we speak about the scriptures, I'm speaking about the 1611. I've forgotten the exact date. You have to bear with me. We are talking about the 1611 KJV that has the New Testament, the Old Testament, and including the Apocrypha. That's the complete scripture, the complete words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, so now we're going back to this word prophecy, or rather prophesy. Prophesy means speak by divine inspiration, foretell future events. And the inspiration that we have been speaking by is the spirit of the Comforter, the Holy Spirit, okay, which is this word. So now, if you say that the scriptures and the 100% truth, the scriptures, I'm putting words in their mouth now. Basically, what they say is that the scriptures don't contain, that not all scriptures, not all the books in the scriptures are the word of the Most High, but the scriptures do have, the word of the Most High in it. But that's going off because, first and foremost, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is not the author of confusion, so he won't put mixing his words with words that are not his. Okay, he won't make a holy book. Okay, he won't, put the spirit on men to put a book together with his words in it, and then the words of and then the words that aren't his now be in the same book as well. That's going off right there. Okay, and secondly, now they're saying that because this isn't the 100%, because the book isn't the complete word of the Most High. Basically, what they're saying is that we don't have the 100% truth. They were not out here prophesying because most of the things they were saying are from the Most High, from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, especially the words of the Apostle Paul. Because whenever we come out here to teach, they will mostly quote. Okay, if you go into the scriptures, more likely than not, you are quoting the Apostle Paul because we do go into the Old Testament. Okay, but the main thing is in the New Testament. That's something that you Christians don't understand. Okay, you see that the New Testament is where you can run to and hide and be safe from the fact that this book is only for the Hebrew Israelites, which are so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. But that's not how it works, okay? Both the Old Testament, both the New Testament, both the Apocrypha is all going into the same thing. It's all speaking the same thing. And the New Testament the New Testament is basically going into the New Testament is basically what the body and the body and the blood of our Lord Jehovah Shai. Because let me get that precept. So okay, well, let me bring it out. So I brought it out last week. Let me bring it out again. The spirit wants to come out again. Okay, so let me get it again. Eat and drink all of you, for this is my body, which is given for the. That's my. I think that's. Matthew the 26th chapter. Now let me just get to the physical Bible. Let me not be holding this. I'm not using it. Let me get to the physical Bible. You have to bear with me. It will take some time to bring it out. The voice is a little low. Okay, but here it is. So this is the book of Matthew 26, verse 26, and it reads, "And as they were eating, Yahushua took bread and blessed it and broke it and gave it to the disciples and said, 'Take, eat. This is my body.' And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, 'Drink ye all of it. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins.'" Okay? And that's the main reason why we go into the New Testament, to tell our people that, look, we no longer have to, and that's another thing right there. Another reason to get on Sikari. They are constantly pushing the law. That you can't receive salvation unless you keep the 100% of the law. Okay? And which, of course, we are great, we here in Great Wisdom, we don't teach that, okay? We don't teach that, we don't even teach that you can keep 100% of the law, because it's not possible to keep 100% of the law. So we teach that you must keep the law, But wherever you stumble, wherever you fail, wherever you fall short, that's not a reason to say that, you can't receive salvation anymore. That, you're not of the elect because, you're not of the elect because, you can't keep a certain law. You have to work on certain times when the Sabbath hits during the week, okay? Like the Monday Sabbath right now. But anyway, that you can't keep the law because you're always wearing mixed fabrics. oh, you can't keep the law because you don't have, you can't be wearing fringes on all of your clothing. But that's not how it works, because now we are no longer under the law. And I always bringing this thing out, and it's ridiculous, man. I think it's Romans 6 chapter that we're no longer under the law, but we are under grace, okay? Because basically, what the Sicarii are trying to do right now, they're trying to undermine our Lord Yahweh Shai, because a little while back they were saying that Yahweh Shai isn't to be worshipped. Then they were saying that their leader Elazar is the chief priest, okay? That is the chief priest of the nation of Israel, which actually is the chief priest is our Lord Yahweh Shai. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to undermine the sacrifice and the works of Yahweh Shai. They're trying to undermine his first coming, okay? Because basically put, these people out here, man, you people that believe in the Sicarii, that believe that, your justification comes from the law. I believe that, the words of the Apostle Paul and scriptural. I believe in all these wicked ass doctrine that the Sicarii and these other camps push. It all comes down to a lack of faith, okay? Because you don't believe in this word, man. You don't believe that the word is enough. You have to attach the word to this, cut of personality that Elazar is building for himself, okay? And that's basically what you are doing. So you can just read the scriptures and see what is in it and accept that as the truth. You can just take the boring old book and just read it like that. You have to you look to men to bring out different doctrines that aren't even scriptural. Trying to live it like they're trying to live like the old. They're trying to live like the old ways, went to the Old Testament type Israelites. When our people had that, what was I looking for? Our people, when our people are in the Holy Land, during the time of the Old Testament, during the time of the Old Testament, they still went off, okay? Even with all the, you have to keep the 100% of the law, they still went off. They still followed after idols. They still, blasphemed Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to the point where he put the curses on us, and those curses are still falling upon us to this day, man. And that was like what, I believe that was 970, or was it 900 to 700 BC, when we were still in the Holy Land, okay? And even up to now, that's almost 3,000 years, man. And I'm not going to even go into that anymore. Let me just go to this. Like I'm trying to find out precepts. I've forgotten the exact precepts. Let me just type it in the bullet down. Alright. So this is the book of Romans 6. Romans 6 now starts from verse 14. Romans 6 verse 14. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for you are not under the law, but under grace. Okay. Now let me start from verse, and then continue from verse 15. What then, shall we sin because we are not under the law but under grace? The Most High forbid. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are, to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness? That's basically what it's going into. We're no longer under the law, we are under grace. Because we're under grace, does that mean that we can now forsake the law, or we don't have to keep the law anymore? There has to be a balance, because as it is written, him that knoweth to do righteousness and do it not is counted unto him as sin. You know the law and you know to keep the law, okay? But if you refuse to keep the law, or you believe that you can be justified only by keeping the law. You are condemning yourself, okay? I think that's even in the scriptures. Let me get that. This isn't even what I actually wanted to go into today, but I have to speak on it a little bit. Let me get this, okay? So this is the book of Romans 3 verse 20. Therefore by the deeds of the law there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. For by the law is the knowledge of sin. But now the righteousness of the Most High without the law is manifested, being witnessed by the law and the prophets, even the righteousness of the Most High, which is by faith of Yahushua HaMashiach unto all and upon all them that believe. For there is no difference, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High. Alright, and that's basically what that's going into right there. And it's simple, man. You can get it out. You can get even more scriptures going into the exact same thing. That that the law, keeping the law, cannot make you righteous. Okay, what can actually make you righteous is faith in Yahushua. Okay, faith in Yahushua. That's what makes you righteous. Because without faith in Yahushua, which is why we always push that, repent, come back to the Most High, come back to His Son, so He can receive mercy. Because the main thing is not, keeping the law. It's not having the grace of our Lord Yahushua on you, because every single Israelite has that grace on them. But rather, the main thing is having faith in Yahushua, having faith in the Most High as well. I believe that's a precept right there. That you have faith in the Father, have faith in Yahushua also. Let me get that. Let me just quickly bring it out. I can't find out precept, but basically, I was going to go into what I'm trying to say is that the faith in Yahushua, that's what's going to deliver us. That's the deal with me. And the way that I hear is very cool. Right now, I'm waiting good. Okay, so that's what I was saying, that the way to be delivered, okay, the way that we're going to get delivered is through our faith in Yahushua. Because once you have that faith, okay, all that things start coming into order. So now because of your faith in Yahushua, you are keeping the law. Because of your faith in Yahushua, you are going out to the highways and byways, you are doing the work. Because of your faith in Yahushua, you believe in the prophecies, you learn the prophecies, you understand the breakdowns, okay? Because of that faith in Yahushua. So now you know so now you know the scriptures, okay? The 100% truth, keeping the law to the best of your ability, doing what you can in order to come back to your heritage, and to have that faith and that patience in Yahushua that He will return, alright, in the end, that He will return, okay, and bring the downfall and the destruction of this kingdom. Because that's what we're out here speaking about, okay? Not speaking about how keeping the law will deliver you. Okay, not speaking about just trying to make ourselves, okay, be grand high priest in this kingdom, man. Okay, the main focus is God bringing out this gospel and speaking and prophesying the downfall and the destruction of this kingdom. I don't know why my voice is so low today. So yeah, so we're still going into the exact same thing, prophecy, okay, to speak and to say things before it happens. So let me see if I can get some more words on this. So yeah, prophecy. And that's basically all the definition has. That's basically all the essence has concerning prophesy. Okay, what we're saying, what we're doing is prophesy. Let me get it in the blue letter. Hold on. Let me get it in the blue letter. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, I'm waiting for this thing to load. It's not even loading. Oh, wow. Alright, that strikes again. But anyway, that's what I've come out here to do. Prophesy unto the Israelites. Once again, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Speak unto our people. Okay, prophesy to the nations and give them their judgment. So that's what we're out here doing. Okay, because the whole of these scriptures, the law and the prophets, but the law is still a part of the prophecy, okay? So the whole book then is a book of prophecy. That's why you always go into it, because we're telling the people, our people that which other book has the ability to which other book can tell what is I'm looking for now? But you get the point now. But you get the point. Which other book has the words of prophecy written in it, has the actual words of the Most High written in it, can tell you exactly what is going to happen. Right? Which other book can be used for doctrine, can be used, okay, for law and correction, and I know to so yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm trying to remember what I want to say, but I can't. This process, this blade that doesn't want to load up for me. Okay, it's actually loaded up. Number. I didn't see the word in the this is the word in the blue letter, Naba, and there's no roots word, okay? So the word is to prophesy, under influence of divine spirits, to prophesy under influence of divine spirits. So when you are going into this word, when you are going into the truth, the scriptures, even the scriptures and the secular definition agree that when you are prophesying, they are under the influence of a divine spirit, which is the spirit of Yahweh, the Holy Spirit, okay? Because the Holy Spirit is in us and is giving us this word from the Most High. The Spirit has revealed unto us these words of prophecy. And what we are commanded to do is to come out here to the highways and byways, People are passing by, watching you speak the words of the Most High, because you might not have seen it because it's not near the camera, but in this direction right now. Of course, there's nobody there right now, but the eyes of people that were walking, looking, staring, watching what I was saying, okay? And somebody just passed by right now. But anyway, you had them looking and watching what I was trying to say. And when they realized that we were just going into the words of Yahweh, they left, Because nobody wants to hear this truth, man. If I was there trying to do a music video or some shit like that, Jake could be running out, trying to get a clip, trying to clip themselves in the video as well. When they realize I'm holding the scriptures, I'm speaking the words of Yahweh, going into the scriptures, nobody wants to hear it anymore. But that's the way of our people, okay? The Most High has blinded some, or rather, the Most High has blinded most and revealed His truth to some. And that's why you're having so much separation within, within Israel right now. In other words, them that know that they are Israelites, okay, because you have these camps out here pushing this false doctrine, all right. But when I was just, I was seeing the videos, I was watching all the videos, all the brothers and others going into the Sikari, going into the IUIC with all the false doctrines that they are pushing. And I didn't even do a single response video because the spirit just wasn't on me to do it, because things I was going to say, and I don't want to say there's some things that aren't what's being said in those kind of videos. But basically what these people are doing, man, they are causing division among our people by pushing these false doctrines, not following the 100% truth, because you already know what is the truth, okay? You should be clear at this point, okay? Who has the words of the Most High, who has the words of prophecy, and who doesn't. Because I've seen all these other camps bug out, I've seen them wax worse and worse. But how long will it take, How much more false doctrines have to go out before you people out here understand what's going on? So yeah, that's all I have to say concerning that. And I'm going to go into something else, because this whole matter of the false doctrine that these other camps push. So far as they push it, will still, as they push the false doctrine, we as well, we're pushing the 100% truth, the correct truth of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So I actually wanted to get go into something else, go into something today. This is not as a warm up, but let me get to my main topic, okay? Something that I was meditating on, There's a picture that goes along, let me get it. So this is the book of Matthew 12, and I will start from verse 20. Then this is going. Okay, Matthew 12, verse 22. Then was brought unto him one possessed with a devil, blind and dumb, and he healed him, insomuch that the blind and dumb both spake and saw. Okay. So this is going into, the man possessed by a demon that made him both blind and dumb. Okay, I know what the word dumb means. Physical speak. Now, if you ask Easton, now Easton will tell you that, it's some kind of chronic pleromania, using his big words and disease and all that. But the scriptures are telling you that a spirit was on him that closed his vision, okay, and closed his throat, made him unable to speak. Right? He's showing you right there that most of these diseases that fall on our people. Alright, you see Jake, you see Jake with diabetes. You see Jake with gout, okay, with you see elephantiasis that makes your body swell up, alright? You see Jake with obesity, because guess what, even obesity, that obesity, where Jake is out here looking like looking like a freaking blob, okay, looking like the Michelin man, that Michelin tire, that white guy, that's white character, that just round as hell. That's what some of our people will be looking like, okay? Jake is out here, Jake out here completely, you can't even carry their own body weight. All that, those things are all demons, man. The cancers, the various diseases that fall upon our people. All of those things, all of those diseases, they are demons, man. So yeah, that's the main reason why we need to be changed. Okay, we need Yahushua to bring that healing. Okay, this kind of healing where just lays hands on you and that's it. Alright, so continue on. Matthew 12:23. And all the people were amazed and said, Is not this the son of David? But when the Pharisees heard it, and they said, This fellow does not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of the devils. And that right there is the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, okay? Because they are saying that the power of the Holy Spirit, in which our Lord Yahushua used to cast out devils. And the Pharisees, man, they knew that our Lord Yahushua was, they knew he was the Messiah. They knew that it was through the spirit of the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that he was casting out devils, but they don't want to cede their power to him. Okay, they don't want to give the authority to him, even though they know that the spirit was heavy on him, that he is the Messiah. And you could say the same thing about the leaders of these various camps today. They know which camp has the 100% truth. They know who has the correct doctrine, but they don't want to just submit themselves to that doctrine because they see the man that is pushing the doctrine, they see the man that is behind the doctrine, and they think, it's just this, it's just this dude, these other apostles of great millstone, how can these be the guys, how can these be the main guys, that's a big thing among our people. Our people, they see the apostles, they see the elders, and they see the big brothers doing this work, pushing the 100% to the correct doctrine, but they refuse to come under them, come under their tutorship, learn under them, because they feel like, oh, these guys are, who's actually playing? Okay. These guys are too small for me to be, learning under. These aren't they want Yahweh Shai to deal with them directly. Okay, but Yahweh Shai didn't deal with any of the other apostles directly. They learned from other men, and eventually through studying, through prayer, through fasting, the Spirit revealed it to them. Because even, I'm a very young brother in this truth, I'm not going to be too proud, but I still pray for the Most High to reveal things to me, man. When I was new in the truth, and there were a lot of breakdowns that I couldn't get, things are a little bit difficult to understand. Then you pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that put the Spirit on you now to understand them. And now you get it to an extent, at least, some things you know better than others. Now I'm still struggling with the second entrance, the 10 and 11 breakdown, But every other thing, every other thing is in here right now. The Spirit has revealed everything to me, And I still pray for the Most High to give me an increase in the Spirit, to get on the level as other brothers out there. Have more understanding. Going into the history, going into prophecies, going into what's going on, current events and all that, and being able to link them perfectly with the scriptures. To continue on, Matthew 12:25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And that's what you are seeing going on right now in this society. You have the Egyptian against the Egyptian. Is that Deuteronomy 30 verse 4? Hold on, hold on. I think, I want to confirm whether that's the correct precept. Nope, I made a mistake. It's not Deuteronomy 30 verse 4. So now I have to go and get it and find the correct precept. So hold on. I can't find it. Okay, hold on, I need to find this precept. Isaiah 19 verse 2. I don't know why I don't know why I couldn't see it in the blue letter. But anyway, I don't know why I couldn't see it in the blue letter. Okay, so this is the book of Isaiah 19 verse 2, and it reads, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." That's what you are seeing happening on the earth right now, especially in these Edomite nations, man. Europe, Babylon the Great, Russia, alright, and all these various other nations fighting against each other. Internal disputes, civil war coming to Babylon the Great, because don't get it wrong, that's part of prophecy. A nation there shall be sedition among men, invading one another, right? And that's going into civil war. Even this Egyptian against Egyptian is still going into civil war. It's still going into World War III, because World War II was the exact same thing, Egyptian versus Egyptian, for the sake of other Egyptians, alright? And when you talk about Egyptians, you talk about Babylonians, you talk about Sodomites, these are all the names for the people of this kingdom, right? Because this is still spiritual Egypt, this is still spiritual Babylon, this is still spiritual Sodom, because of all the wickedness that is going on in these places, man. Because Babylon the Great, okay, Babylon the Great, which is America, has perfected the wickedness of Sodom, of Egypt, and of Babylon, because they not only have they perfected it, but they continued it, okay? They increased and extended it, So not only did they, just like Egypt, take the Israelites into captivity, but they even, laid even stronger strokes. They oppressed our people even more than the Egyptians ever did. And even after our iniquity was finished, after the time of our calamity, when our iniquity had an end, as the scripture said, they furthered the oppression, and they furthered it even up to this day. Because Jake is out here thinking, I'm a free man, I'm independent. What they don't realize is that they're still slaves under these devils, man. You people out here in the world, you Jakes out here, and you're not free. Okay, and what more proof is there than this thing that's going around right now? If you don't take the, you basically have your rights restricted. People now are getting kicked out of planes just for removing their face masks, even though only those that are dressed up can fly. But Esau is playing with you people out here, man. But that's even continue, Esau is playing with you people out here, man. But that's even furthering the division of this kingdom. Because once these low-level common people realize that, the elites are basically trying to turn them into I don't want to say debt slaves, because they're already debt slaves. But they try to put them in chains and turn them into full-time slaves. And they are going to rebel, man. These people are going to rebel. Okay? That time is coming. So continue on. Matthew 12 verse 26. "And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?" And that's what you are seeing right here. It's funny because I was asking a question like, why would Satan fight against Satan? Why would the kingdom of Satan fight against itself? But that's what you are seeing going on at this time, man. You see, I'm seeing devils casting themselves out. Because here in Nigeria, when you say you are casting somebody, it means you are exposing their lies, and you are telling the truth about them, you are snitching on them. Okay, so when I was using that term, why would Satan cast out Satan? It's not only that, he's casting out a demon or casting out a devil, but it's also revealing the secrets, okay, that some of these devils are that these devils are hiding. You have your Edomite whistleblowers, okay? You have these Edomites that are devoted to bringing out the conspiracies about the wicked elites of this kingdom. Then you have the low-level Edomites trying to expose the wicked elites, trying to show the whole world that these are the true evil people that the Bible speaks of, even though they are a part of that family. Because guess what? The wicked of this society, the enemies of this society, the bully of the earth, is not just the elites, not just the Rothschild, Rockefeller family like that. It's also you low-level Edomites as well. You are a part of that family, so you are also a part of the wickedness, and you're also going to receive the same judgment as those elites. They're going to slavery. And after 1,000 years, they're going to be destroyed. Okay? Matthew 12, verse 27. And let me just quickly get this word, Beelzebub. Alright. And the word Beelzebub is Lord of the house. Lord of the house. So that is Baal. House is Bayath. So it should be Baal, Baal Habayat or something like that. So I can't really grasp it, but there it is. This is it. Baal Zaba. Hold on. It's not even house if it's fly. That's why they call it Lord of the Fly. So that is Zabao. Zabao. Okay. So Beelzebub, that is Lord of the Flies. And it's actually, a god that was worshipped by the Philistines. The Philistines. Okay, that was one of their gods right there. Beelzebub. Okay, so continue on. Matthew 12, verse 27. And if I by Beelzebub cast out devils, by whom do your children cast them out? Therefore they shall be your judges. But if I cast out devils by the Spirit of the Most High, then the kingdom of the Most High is come unto you. Or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, then he will spoil his house. Alright, now basically what I wanted to go into, how can you come into a strong man's house? How can you enter into a strong man's house unless you first bind the strong man, Because that's what Allah Yahweh is coming to do to this kingdom. He's coming to bind up the elites of these devils and then destroy and take over his house, okay? Because even if you are stronger than the man of the house, you still have to bind him up. You still have to knock him out, or tie him up, incapacitate him in a way that he won't be able to move and disturb you. Because even if you are stronger than the guy, even if you are trying to break into a house and you are stronger than the guy that's in the house, you still have to do something to him in which you cannot disturb him when you are trying to destroy the house. Or you are trying to take whatever you want to take, okay? So even if Allah Yahweh and his forces are stronger than the forces that this devil has, Allah Yahweh is still coming to bind up these devils, man. To bind them up and to take over this house, and to destroy and take over this kingdom, okay? Because that's basically what the second coming is going to be. And that's why you always see Esau going into these aliens. Okay, I'm not talking about aliens, I'm not talking about little green men. I'm talking about aliens like Krypton, like Superman, okay? Like Goku from Dragon Ball Z, like Omni-Man from Invincible, like the Eternals, that's the new one that just came out. Those kind of aliens, okay? You go into the MCU a little bit more. If you read the comics, you know about the Kree, the Skrulls, okay? Titans like Thanos, those kind of aliens. The ones that are basically just like human beings, okay? But what they want to do, they want to take over the earth and create their own kingdom on the earth. Because that's exactly what Allah Yahweh is going to do. Because when Allah Yahweh comes, they already know what it is, man. He's not going to say that, oh, it's an alien. Oh, it's an alien, It's alien forces, okay? Extraterrestrial entities have invaded the earth. And now we must defend the earth against them. But we already know, we've already revealed the secret, okay, the truth of this matter. It's not no extraterrestrials. It's the chariots of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. It's the angels of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And of course, it's Yahweh Shai himself with the Most High Yahweh. The Spirit of the Most High moving those chariots, okay? Because that's exactly how those chariots move. It's not, they're using this plasma light technology to move faster than light. It is Spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai that's making the chariots walk. So any of you brothers out there that have the question of How do these chariots move? How do they work? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahwashai, Ba'asham, Rahab, Kodash. That's the only answer we need. Okay? And that's the real answer right there. Because even the cars, it's the exact same thing. It's the spirit of the Most High that's pushing those, that's moving those cars, okay? This phone I'm using right now to record, it's the spirit of the Most High that is making the phone to work, okay? All the other technicalities and the other intricacies, okay? If you want to know more about it, you want to dig deeper into it, you can. But that should be a good enough answer for you. I'm not saying that, we shouldn't be trying to figure out how it works, but just, how does it go again? That is in the book of 2nd Ezra, the things that are revealed unto men here on the earth. Let me get that precept. So I have to go, so I can just bear with me. I think it's 2nd Ezra, the 3rd chapter. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra 4, and trying to figure out where to start from. But I try to figure out where to start from, but it's a whole. Okay. 2nd Ezra 4 verse 20. Then answered he me and said, Thou hast given a right judgment, but why judgest thou not thyself also? For like as the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea to his floods, even so they that dwell upon the earth may understand nothing but that which is upon the earth. And he that dwelleth above the heavens may only understand the things that are above the height of the heavens. So the things that are of the earth, the things that have been given to us by our Lord Yahweh, those are the things that we understand at this time, okay? So how to build a car, how to build a cell phone, okay? How to split atoms, how to create or manipulate cells. Those things have been given to us by Yahweh, and these devils, they use it for wickedness, right? Those different secrets, they use it for wickedness, okay, not in righteousness, okay. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that it's earthly things that we understand, but the spiritual things, the heavenly things, like the chariots and how they work, or how the spiritual body works, or the afterlife and how the spirit world works and all that. Those things aren't given to us because our bodies cannot contain that information, okay? Our bodies cannot, bear the load of that knowledge, which is why there is no remembrance of former things, okay? Why you can't go back into your past life and remember what you did in the reincarnation. But anyway, let me continue on with this. Because the knowledge that we have on this side is sufficient for us. So let me continue with this. Okay, I've already read all that. But basically what I want to go into, as I was saying, what I want to go into is that, our Lord Yahweh is coming back to bind up Esau, Edom, and to destroy this kingdom. So it's more prophesying, going into the downfall and the destruction of this society, of this kingdom. Alright, and the building up, okay, and the uplifting of our own kingdom, the kingdom of Yahweh, the kingdom of Jerusalem, okay, the kingdom basically. That is, I believe that is 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9, where it says that, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So I want to start from here, okay, because basically the theme of what I want to go into is that you cannot enter into the house of the strong man. You cannot break down his house. You cannot destroy his house or take his goods unless you first bind up that strong man. That's what our Lord Yahweh, okay, is doing right now in this time through his servants, the prophets. And we're going to go all into that, okay? So first and foremost, Isaiah 63 verse 1. Isaiah 63 verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiments. For the day of my vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And this is, of course, speaking of our Lord Yahushua in the day of his second coming, okay? Because this Isaiah, the 63rd chapter, even these Christian scholars agree that this is going into a future prophecy. So right there, you have it right there, okay? Our Lord Yahushua in the Old Testament, Isaiah the 63rd chapter. And who else could that be speaking about, okay? Who else is mighty to save? Who else? Let me get some of those words. Who else is mighty to save? Who else, who else has those that he wants to redeem, except for our Lord Yahushua? So all these Old Testament only Israelites, you already know that the Most High is not dealing with them. We already know that their doctrine is bugged the hell out. They don't know what they're talking about, okay? Nobody takes them seriously, except for Jake that are Salakia. The breeze that is blowing right now is one cold breeze like this. It's that cold breeze like this, it's not like those. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, nobody takes this Old Testament only Israelites seriously, okay? Because everybody already knows they are bugged the hell out. But yeah, that's what our Lord Yahushua is coming back to do, to destroy this kingdom, man. And it's going to start with the 10th of, we're going to start with, it's going to start with two devils, okay? Bind you up, with those nuclear missiles, alright? Because when you say you bind up the strong man, it can also mean that you take him out, okay? You kill him. All I've focused on is making sure that he does not disturb you or to stop you from taking his goods, from destroying his house. You can choose to knock him out. You can choose to tie him up. You can choose to gag him, okay? You can choose to even distract him, okay? Make him leave the house, for a certain amount of time. Enough time for you to come in and do what you want to do. But that's not what the Lord Yahushua is planning on doing. He's not planning on knocking out he's not planning on just knocking these devils out of power, okay? He's not going to just put them away in a cage for 1,000 years like he did the last time. Because you have some Christians that say that prophecy of Satan being bound up 1,000 years is going into a future prophecy. What they don't understand that has already happened, okay? And that's actually going into the Middle Ages. So what I'm going to do is I want to get that precept real quick, just to bring it out, break it down a little bit, because this is camp right now, They are going into the basics of the basics. Okay, anytime we see, going to the basics of the basics through the Spirit. Okay, so come on. Here it is. So this is the book of Revelation 20 verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. And let's stop right there, okay? Because when it's going into the Satan, the devil that he's talking about, it says, it gives you the 4 different titles: the dragon, the serpent, the devil, Satan, okay? Now you already know what the dragon is. I already know what the dragon is. And that dragon is speaking about the red dragon, which Daniel saw in the book of, I believe that is Daniel the 7th chapter, Just trying to make sure. Yeah, Daniel the 7th chapter. Going into the 4 beasts that are 4 kingdoms that will rule over the earth. I could go into that breakdown, but you can read Daniel the 7th chapter for yourself, okay? And that dragon is speaking about the Roman Empire and the revived Roman Empire that are currently living in right now, okay? So we understand that so if you go into the history, alright, let's look at the camera for this one, because it's like just go into it. But anyway, you go into the history. The Roman Empire started at roughly 400 BC, I believe. Okay, during that period. Okay, and then the Greek Empire. The Roman Empire actually started at I believe it was 30-ish BC, right? With Augustus and Julius Caesar and the like. Okay, so they're the ones that started the Roman Empire, and it continued all the way up onto the early 300, until the early 4th century. Yeah, until the early 4th century, and that's when Jake started coming into power. Jake started coming into rulership. You had the normal Roman Empire and the Holy Roman Empire, because even those Israelite emperors, your Constantine, your Nerva, your Marcus Aurelius, Septimius Severus, Pesinius, Niger, those guys, they were still part of the Roman Empire, right? And the Roman Empire finally it fell. I think that was 300-ish BC. You know what's like after? Let me just check it online. Because this is not a part of the lesson. Trying to make a point here. So let me just bring it out. When did Rome fall? Nigeria network, slow as hell. Okay, that's come out. Okay. So it says here that Rome fell 476 BC. It's like 476 AD. So that should be the 5th century. So that was when Rome actually fell, alright? I would know that the Renaissance began in the now that was when Rome fully fell, okay? Not like what because during the 300, during the 4th century, the 300 AD and the like, you had Rome being taken over by Jake, being ruled by Israelite emperors. After you have your Marcus Aurelius, it started with Nerva, okay? I believe it was Vespasian and Titus that ended the rule of the Edomites, okay? But Rome completely fell in 476 BC, rather 476 AD, and then you had the Renaissance, which is when the Edomites came into power, because that period between 476 AD, the 5th century, and the 15th century, when the Renaissance began, was considered the Dark Ages. I guess they call it the Middle Ages now. And during that period, okay, Jake ruled in Europe, alright? Jake ruled in Asia. Jake ruled in Africa as well. All the nations on the earth, okay? Jake was in rulership. You had your original kings of all these areas. You had your King James, the King Charles and the like, the kings of England, France, Spain, Portugal. Those places were completely controlled by Jake, because these devils are taken out of power. And this is what this Revelation 20 is going into. That the dragon, okay, the rulership of the dragon was, the dragon was cast into a bottomless pit. And that bottomless pit is going into Europe, okay? Because And that's another reason why when you watch all these period pieces, all these medieval films about medieval Europe, if you people here in Nigeria, man, you here in Nigeria, whenever I used to watch those movies, I was wondering, where are their farms now? Where is their farmland? Where is their crops and everything? Because you watch all those movies, man, the ground is always barren, like a desert. You always have these trees and this grass there, but they don't actually look edible. The ground is completely barren, no fruits, no anything at all. Because because whenever I walk through here, whenever you walk around here in Nigeria, man, you see a lot of plants, okay? Plants, both herb yielding plants, and that was plant fruits, plants that are actually edible, and weeds, okay? There are some places right now that you go to, there are farms right there, okay? Just random places, by the side of the road where they are planting stuff. Like example now, you see that you're not outside, last let's be done, because right now this place now I'm doing camping is first start, okay? So you go all the way down to Yanova, that last side, you see all the farms that are there, okay? So Africa, Asia, even Babylon the Great, okay? I think Australia as well. Those were all fertile lands where it wasn't even that difficult to plant crops, you know, where you had farm animals, all right? Thousands, not even in thousands, in the millions, okay? Because over there in Europe, during the Middle Ages, and now you watch all these all these period pieces, okay, about the medieval times, about the Middle Ages. You always see these Edomites you always see these Edomites, tattered clothes, haven't bathed for like 5 days, you know, eating freaking pig intestines, eating you know what, let me get that preset. That's the book of Job, you know, mallows and juniper roots for their meat. That's basically what you see them eating in that time, because Esau was showing you exactly what he was doing during the dark ages, okay? So let me get that preset, let me bring this out. So this is the book of Job 30 verse 1. But now, they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to set with the dogs of my flock. And that's right, and that's going into, you know, those sheep dogs, those dogs that you know, you train to protect your cattle, protect your animals, okay? And to guide them when they are going around, because even here in Nigeria, where you still have some of those cattle rearer types, you know, carrying like they're not really that much right now. They're like 10 cows, moving them around, you know, grazing from place to place. You know, you always have these. That's why recently, you know, that was a long time ago before I came into this truth. You had a thing out with the Fulani headsmen, where they will start attacking people, cutting up people with knives, okay, out of nowhere, just out of nowhere, for no, you know, for apparently no reason, because, you know, sometimes they will say that, oh, because people now allow that, you know, they are messing with their cattle, but it was mainly because, you know, it's those Hamites again messing with Jake, man. But yeah, you have some of people like that have their flocks, okay, they're still at their flocks, and then you had dogs that will be set over them, you know, protecting them, okay, guiding them, you know, making sure that they don't step out of line. But you couldn't have Esau Edom staying with those dogs, even those dogs, then, because you know how you treat dogs, okay? You don't live in with them, because it's these devils that started that nonsense, man, of a dog sleeping on the same bed as you, a dog living in your house as well. It's Esau Edom that started that, because these devils, they know who they know their place, man. They're even lower than the dogs, okay? And that's why these devils are so close to a dog. That's why they say that, oh, a dog is a man's best friend. Hell no, a dog is an Edomite's best friend, okay? Because because Esau Edom has spent so much time with those dogs. And that's why these devils love the pork so much as well. Because that's the main thing that they were eating, okay? Both dogs and pork as well, okay? Because you set them with those dogs, they're either going to eat the dog or have sex with them. That's how much of that. Even the scriptures call them brute beasts, okay? The vagabonds of the earth, because that's exactly what they are. They go around they go around the whole earth, and the only thing they can do is do wickedness, you know. Yeah, you're watching the video. You should already know what the vagabond is, man. How does Esau say it? Well, we are in Nigeria, we say good for nothing, basically. But Esau has this thing that he uses I forgot how Esau said it, but basically that's what the vagabond is, good for nothing. Alright, and that's basically what these devils are. So Job 30 verse 2. Yeah, Job 30 verse 2. Yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time desolate and waste. And that's showing that there is no new thing under the sun. Because even during the time of Job, this is before Moses, this is before our people went into captivity this is before our people went into captivity in Egypt, okay? But Job even saw the Edomites are still being Edomites even during the time of Job, okay? Because Esau already existed during that time, alright? You had him, what's that I'm looking for? You had him, he had his whole nation and everything. Because the nation of Esau was established long before the nation of Israel, in the Mount Seir. They already had their kings and their princes and the like. But this is the characteristics of these Edomites. Even during that time, they were still doing this thing right here. And during the Dark Ages, they were doing the exact same thing. Okay, you go back to Nebuchadnezzar, when the Most High removed the heart of a man from him. The word heart meaning mind. Okay, let's get that out of the way first, because when he says he removed the heart of a man from him and put the heart of a beast in him, he's talking about removing the mind of a man and making him now putting that mind of a beast. Okay, putting him in a beast-like state, which is the exact same thing the Most High did to these devils. And if you don't believe that, then if you don't believe that the Most High can remove the heart of a man from somebody and put the mind of a beast in them, don't worry, I'll post a video for your account to watch, because when I saw that video, I was like, when I saw that video, that preset jumped into my mind. Let me get that. Yeah, it is. Daniel 4 verse 24. This is the interpretation, O king, and this is the decree of the Most High, which is come upon my Lord the king, that they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven, and 7 times shall pass over thee, till thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. And now I'll jump down a little bit. So this is the book of Daniel 4 verse 30. So yeah, this is the book of Daniel 4 verse 30. The king spake and said, Is not this great Babylon that I have built to the house of the kingdom that I built for the house of the kingdom, by the might of my power and for the honor of my majesty? While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven, saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee, and they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. The same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men, and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs were grown like eagle's feathers, and his nails like birds' claws. And at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up mine eyes unto heaven, and my understanding returned unto me. And I'll stop right there. So basically, there you have it. And what that precept was going into was Nebuchadnezzar being turned into a beast, basically. Okay, the heart of a man, the mind of a man was removed. His mind was removed from him, and he became just like an animal. Okay, eating the grass just like a cow. He was probably going, moo, like a cow too. But that's basically what happened to Esau Edom during that 1,000 years when they were cast into that bottomless pit. The same thing that happened to Nebuchadnezzar happened to the nation as well, where they were basically turned into these brute beasts. And that's what Job was speaking about right here, So going back to that's Job 30. And that's what Job was speaking about as well right here. I will finish going into that. So yeah, I'm going to this more. Yeah, Job 30. Job 30 verse 4. Job 30 verse 3. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness of in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valley, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Caucasian, right? Cave dwellers, right? Cave men, right? Because Job was, this is a prophecy right here. Job was seeing the future of these devils. He was seeing what these devils were doing in the Middle Ages. They were held up. They were held up in these mountains, in these caves, like cavemen. And you see the videos. You watch how the cavemen were acting. Picking what's that I'm looking for? Picking lice from each other's hair and eating it, just like monkeys do, right? Because these devils are the real, the ones that really originated from monkeys, man. Neanderthals, right? He's telling you his history in a backhanded way. Most of you people don't even know it, man. This devil is telling you exactly who he is, and most of you people out there, you don't even realize it, all right? Because you think that he's the originator of the earth, that everybody was white before, everybody was white on the earth, but because of a curse or whatever excuse the devils want to use, now we have black people, so-called black people, which of course they're not black, rather dark skin. But that's going into something else. I'm not going to speak on that right now. We already know what it is, man. Okay. So yeah, this is basically what this was going into. The Middle Ages, when they were dwelling in the caves, when they call them Caucasians, cave dwellers. Okay. They were dwelling in the Caucasus Mountains. I believe that is Georgia in Russia. Okay. Because that was where these Edomites were during the time of the Middle Ages, because they were chased out of the land of Idumea. Okay. The land of Seir, Mount Seir. And that shows you again once again, because their original dwelling place was still the mountains, still the high places. And even to this day, man, these devils, they always dwell in their skyscrapers, in their condo apartments, their high-rise buildings and their high-rise apartments, okay? Looking down, because he exalted himself as the eagle, looking down on everybody else. And that's why the symbol of America, the symbol of Rome, it was always the eagle. And guess what else, man? You know that the eagle was actually a scavenger, okay? Which shows you how these devils work, man, because everything these devils have, they didn't go out and get it by themselves. They didn't hunt for it. They stole it from somebody else. Alright? So yeah, that's basically just, the more you know. Alright, so now going back to Revelation, the 20th chapter, and it's going into prophecy, because the devil that was cast into that bottomless pit wasn't the actual spiritual demon Satan, okay? Rather it was Esau, Edom, because what was cast into that bottomless pit wasn't a spirit, but a whole nation, a whole kingdom of people. And that's why the Roman Empire, between the period of that 5th century up until the 15th century, during the Renaissance, and you go into that Renaissance, the word Renaissance goes back to the word rebirth, okay? And if you are wondering the rebirth of what, or if you are asking the rebirth of what, when you go into the Renaissance, it tells you that the Renaissance was basically a rediscovery of classical arts, literature, and architecture. And when you're talking about classical arts, literature, or architecture, it's talking about what goes, the architecture, the arts, the literature that goes back to Rome. Because you ask your average Edomite, history begins at Rome, history starts at Rome, they really start going into history. Once you go into, beginning at Greek Rome, when they first came into power, that's how they start their history, and then they jump over the Middle Ages and then jump straight to the Renaissance, because before the Greco-Roman Empire, okay, it was the dark flesh nations that were ruling, the Medo-Persians, the Babylonians, the Assyrians. After the Roman Empire, for a brief period, approximately 1,000 years, okay, going into, once again, the prophecies don't miss. It was Jake that was in rulership, okay, the Byzantine Empire, the Moors, the English, the British, because that word British, it goes back to what? Man of the Covenant, okay, the Apostle Gabor brought that out. Alright, the Spaniards, the Celts, the Anglo-Saxons, which is basically the angelic sons of Isaac. That's what that word Anglo-Saxon means. And those were all Jake, okay? And then you had the Renaissance, when these devils came into power, all right, being and it was the word I'm looking for, the poster boy for that being Cesare Borgia, which is the face they are seeing in these churches right now as JC, okay? When they started coming into rulership, and then they overthrew people, man. But what that was prophecy. The Most High took our people down so that Esau could rule. That's why you had things like the Black Plague, because the Black Plague was killing Jake, okay? And this is just me speaking as a man, but I believe that it was Esau that brought that Black Plague. When you know what they say in the world, man. When you lie with the dogs, you get up with fleas, okay? And these devils, they have so many diseases on them. The first and foremost being that disease of leprosy, right? Because when you are going to their skin color, that leprosy, that skin pigmentation that they have, that red skin, is leprosy, okay? Because you go into leprosy in the scriptures, it tells you that your body is basically wasted away, okay? Your skin is wasted away, That's why they call Esau. Because that word Esau means what wasted away is he. Because that's exactly how your skin looks. It lacks pigmentation. It's pale. Looks diseased, okay? That's why that's why you see Jake Jake is sick. They almost look like an Edomite, man. Alright, but anyway, continue. Let's go back to that Revelation, the 20th chapter, because what we're still going into is the downfall of these devils. They had they lost their rulership for 1,000 years, and during that time, Jake was in rulership, alright. But then the Most High set them back up again. And what was the first thing they did? Job 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And that's the first thing that these devils will do whenever they come into power. As soon as they come into power, they you know what? Let me get that preset in the book of Maccabees. They did the exact same thing during the time of the Maccabees, and they did the exact same thing as soon as they came into power during the Renaissance. Okay. So this is the book of 1 Maccabees 3, and I'll start from verse 48. 1 Maccabees 3 verse 48. Okay. 1 Maccabees 3 verse 46. Wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together and came to Masphah over against Jerusalem, for in Masphah was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel. Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth and cast ashes upon their heads and rent their clothes and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their image. Okay, and those heathen being Esau, Edom. So what these devils did was that they painted their own faces, tried to. Alright, that's why you have in the book of Maccabees, you go into it, they talk about the church of Jupiter Olympius, where basically Antiochus, okay, I believe that was Antiochus number 2, okay, or Antiochus the Great, I forget which number it was, whether it was 2 or 3, but basically, right, Antiochus wanted our people to start worshipping the same gods that him and his people, the Edomites, are worshipping, which was that Jupiter, okay, which is what the Greek, the main god of the Greek pantheon. I mean, the main god, Jupiter is the main god of the Roman pantheon, but basically Zeus and Jupiter, they are all the same thing anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, Jupiter, okay, that's why you have this in the scriptures, it's the scriptures. And let me just go to it. Let me just go to it. So this is the book of Second Maccabees 6, and I'll start from verse 1. Second Maccabees 6, verse 1, and it reads, not long after this, wait, this isn't the correct one. Okay, Second Maccabees 6, verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the law of their fathers and not to live after the laws of the Most High, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius, and that in Garizim of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place. I think this is going into these devils, and basically what vocab Malone is trying to do right now. You know, Jupiter Olympus, the defender of strangers. Because what vocab is trying to do is trying to make you Israelites, okay? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. To once again going into Second Maccabees 6, verse 1. And that's how you know that vocab is a devil, man. Second Maccabees 6, verse 1. And it reads, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of the Most High. And that's basically what vocab is doing right now in this time, man. He's trying to compel you to live the law of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and follow after, you know, Jupiter Olympius, okay, Serapis Christos, course, basically to instead the Most High, the defender of the strangers, you know, the God of this world. Alright, it's trying to compel you to follow after that God, because that's what Esau does. First and foremost, you know, he took our idols. That's Satan right there. Taking our idols, like we, the Israelites, actually worship idols. But he took the images of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know, the different murals, okay, and the things that people would paint, you know. He took that, okay, and tried to put his likeness there, tried to put his own image there, tried to make it seem as though he was the people of the Most High, that he is the Most High and his son. Just like what he did with Serapis Christos, with Cesare Borgia, okay? And that's basically what he was. And that's how you know, that's how you can connect, okay, the ancient Romans to these modern day Romans through their actions. Because, like I said, there is no new thing under the sun, okay? That's Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter right there. There is no new thing under the sun. It's just a constant cycle of history repeating itself. The same thing that Esau did when they first came into power is the same thing that they are doing right now in their revised Roman Empire, okay? And they wanted the whole world, they were trying to unite the whole world under their banner. Okay, they wanted the whole world to become one, of one religion, of one language, with them at the top, with them in rulership. But, you know, Psalms 2 verse 1 right there. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Because these heathen, they are the ones that they want to be the top guy, they want to be the top nation. Everybody is fighting to be the top nation. But Jake, that is actually the top nation. The people that are actually the top nation are trying to live in peace and harmony with the heathen. And it shows you how stupid our people are, man. Because here you have all these other nations that are scrambling to be number one. But Jake just wants to live peacefully with the heathen. When they are the actual, when you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians are the actual number one, right? But you don't want to come into your power. You don't want to rise to your position, okay? But it doesn't matter, man. Two-thirds are going to be, two-thirds are going to be two-thirds. As the scripture says, Daniel the 12th chapter, the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the righteous shall understand. So yeah, even if our people being the way they are, man, the Most High is still guiding us towards, that expected end, okay, towards our rulership, where we will have all the nations under our subjection. So yeah, this place is through, and this place is going to be destroyed. The Lord Yahweh is going to come through with that destruction. And you devils, man, the Most High is going to take all of you devils out, okay? Because you're going to Obadiah, the first chapter, you're going to Malachi as well. It's all speaking about the same thing. How the Most High will take out you devils, okay? The people against whom Yahweh has indignation forever. That's Malachi 1 verse 5. Let me go into that a little bit, just a little bit. So this is the book of Malachi 1 verse 3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. And your eyes shall see, and you shall say, Yahweh will be magnified from the border of Israel. And that's right, because when you devils are being taken out, the elect of the nation of Israel will be giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rachak, Wadash. And call Allah Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rachak, Wadash. That this kingdom is being taken out, man. No, because I can't imagine living in this place any longer than I am. Alright? Lord willing, we get delivered this year. And you can already see things heating up through the spirit, because as we are right now in step I'm right now, and you still have some simple ass people out here in the world. Because everything that is going on the earth, it's already been more than proven 200 times over, okay, that this thing that's going on the earth, and you know what it is, it's a complete hoax, man. That is just using it to now to exercise control over the people. But you still have so many people here on the earth that are still falling for it. Oh, you got to get juiced up. Why aren't you wearing your mask? That kind of thing. So that people out there that are acting in this manner, man. But the people are simple. And the simple believe every word, right? Except for the truth, ironically. And it's amazing how that works, that the simple believe every word except for the truth. But you know what the scriptures say, man? Wisdom cannot enter into a malicious spirit. And we're these simples out here, these simple-minded, peon-minded, these simple-minded, pea-brained, smooth-brained people out here in the world. Their spirit is just filled with maliciousness because, as the scriptures say, they are of their father the devil, and the lust of their father they will do, because he was a liar from the beginning, and the truth dwelleth not in him. Righteousness cannot dwell in him. So righteousness naturally cannot dwell in the wicked of this world, which are 2/3 of you Israelites, and as well as the heathen and the rest of these other nations, especially you Edomites, man. And that's why the Most High is coming to throw down, okay? To throw down your kingdom, to throw down with you, and to completely decimate and destroy this place, man. And the only thing I can say to you people out here, okay, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, okay, Israelites according to the Bible, don't get skipped, okay? Yeah, don't get skipped, because salvation is coming once, judgment is coming once, okay? And if you're not on that chariot, it's your ass out here, man. Especially this only goes for the Israelites, okay? So don't get skipped by how about Hashem Yahushai, because you know what the scripture says, man, that in that day a lot of people will get skipped, So let me get some precepts going into that. Let me start with this one. Okay. For the most further and deal. And this is the book of Luke 13. And I will start from verse 24. Luke 13, verse 24. Strive to enter in at the straight gate. For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. And that word there is, and that word when it says straight gate, it's not straight as in straight line, it's straight as in straight. S-T-R-A-I-T, and we always go into this, that word straight means trouble, okay? The path least shredded, I think that's how it goes. The path least shredded, okay? So let me get this word straight in the blue letter, so you will see what I'm talking about. And the word here is stenos. Stenos. Strong G 4728. Stenos. And the word means narrow, straight. So basically the narrow path. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get I'm going to pull up the dictionary. So this is the word in dictionary for straight. Narrow, restricted as to space or room close. Righteous or strict. Close, intimate, near familiar. Difficult, distressful. So that's the strict that he's talking about. But in this case, talking about the narrow way. As the scripture says, I think that this is the same precept, going into the way to life. Okay, this truth, it's a narrow path and only one person can enter in at a time, okay? But the way to destruction is wide and people are pouring through those gates, man. But anyway, continue on. Luke 13, verse 25. When once the master of the house is risen up and has shut to the door, and he begin to stand without and to knock at the door, saying, Lord, Lord, open unto us, and he shall answer and say unto you, I know you not whence ye are. And this is going into when the doors of mercy close. And even more so, when the doors of that chariot close, man. But it's mainly going into the doors of mercy, because when the doors of the chariots close, you too are going to be able to say, oh, Lord, Lord, Yahweh, we were preaching, we were doing this and that. We are calling on the name in your name, You're not going to be able to say that when the chariots close. It's talking about the doors of mercy, all right? When the famine of the word hits, okay, when you realize that the men of the Lord are no longer on the highways and byways, then you start to pray to the Most High. I start to pray to His Son, talking about you want the truth now. You saw the men of the Lord, okay. You did this and you did that, okay. Let me just give some examples according to the scriptures. So Matthew 13, verse 26. Then shall ye begin to say, we have eaten and drunk in thy presence, and thou hast taught in our streets. And when he's talking about our Lord Yahweh teaching, he's talking about his representatives in this side, okay? Wow. I don't know if you can hear that. Anyway, we're talking about, us, the representatives of Yahweh out here on the highways and byways, doing this work. And because you see, most of our people, when they drink, they are in the house of mirth, they are celebrating. That's why the scripture says that they are eating and drinking in our presence. That basically means they are reveling. They were throwing their parties, going to the club, doing all these different things, not being sober, being full, being wanton, being gluttonous, being drunkards, while we are out here doing this work. When they are eating and drinking, they are eating and drinking all these different philosophies, okay? All these different doctrines, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, the philosophies of Babylon the Great. Love everybody, Be your own person, be your own God, Be willful, full of chase after mammon, chase after money, hustle this and that. That's what Jake is flowing. But they still hear this word though. The word is still entering into their ears, but coming out the other ear. Once they realize the value of this word, that's when they start saying that, oh, we were there when they were preaching now. We heard the word. Give us another chance. They were speaking to Yahweh, trying to pray unto Him. Trying to call upon the name. Okay, speaking to Yahweh, trying to get mercy when there is no more mercy to give. Once the doors of mercy have been closed, That means that all of the elect have been sealed. Once the famine of the word starts, it means that all of the elect have heard the word. And that's basically it, okay? Matthew, I don't know why I keep thinking this is Matthew. Luke 13, verse 27. But he shall say, I tell you, I know you not whence ye are. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth when ye shall see Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all the prophets in the kingdom of the Most High, and you yourself thrust out. And they shall come from the east, and from the west, and from the north, and from the south, and shall sit down in the kingdom of the Most High. And this is going into the scattered elect, okay, that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, coming to Yahweh Shai, sitting and feasting and eating with Yahweh Shai. When I'm talking about eating, I'm not talking about eating food, I'm talking about eating, I'm talking about, when you say, when Jake says they are eating, they mean they are winning, talking about being delivered, okay, receiving salvation. And that's basically a big W for us in this week, to receive salvation. That's the biggest W, we'll be born in that day, plus we'll be eating that day, rejoicing in Yahweh Shai. So we actually got delivered. And Lord willing, and I'm a part of that number, right? But you heard it right here, okay? You heard it here first from the scriptures, that in that day, you people out here, you scoffers, you mockers, the ones that passed by the camp and were like, these people aren't saying anything important, They say that, oh, if you're not talking about money, not. And I think about has actually told me that before in camp that, oh, I'm not talking about, instead of talking about how to make money, how to hustle. I'm talking about this truth, talking about the destruction of Babylon the Great. And many people are going to get destroyed, okay? Because that is James the fifth chapter. Weep and howl, for your riches are moth-eaten, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. And that's just going into the rich alone. How much more you poor ass Jakes that don't even have any money to use for your deliverance? Should I let this thing will be showing? But anyway, going into you poor ass Jakes that don't even have any money to use for deliverance. How much more you, okay? When that time comes, how are you going to deliver yourself? But you know what the scripture says, man? And how does it go again? And the people is foolish. That Jeremiah 4:22. Basically going into Jake's stupidity. Okay? So let's get some more precepts. Because there's so much more to get going into this exact same thing, man. Because many of our people are going to be many of our people are going to be rejected in that day. So, okay. So this is the book of Matthew. Matthew 7, and I'll start from verse 16. Matthew 7 verse 16. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns, or figs of thistle? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruit ye shall know them. And that's right, okay, because it's telling you right there that as the scripture says that out of the treasures of a man's heart, you know. How does it go again? Here it is. Matthew 12, verse 35. Matthew 12, verse 35. A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. That's basically it right there, you know. Now out of your heart, in other words, your mind, and you speak, okay? So a man that has the 100% truth, and the spirit of Yahweh Shai is dealing with, you won't hear him bring out false doctrine, okay? You won't hear him bring out, you know, speak unfruitful things, okay? The man can be eating the microchip. It's Joe, eat the microchip. You know, that kind of thing. You hear him speak about the truth, man, because the charagma, okay? The charagma notherion, alright? That is, that's the microchip. There's nothing more to say about that, you know? Because you have these other camps out here that are going into, you know, that are jumping through hoops to try to prove that the MOTB is something else. You know, but anyway, you know, but this time is coming, man, where the fruits shall be known, okay? The fruits of the works of the men that are out here on the highways and byways shall be known. The fruits of the men of the Lord shall be known. And the fruits of the false prophets shall be known as well. Which of course, you know, some of our people still haven't seen it yet. But you know, there will come a time where there will be no shadow of a doubt, you know, even the simplest Jake will know who the true men of Yahweh Shai are. To continue on. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out the devils, and in thy name have done many wonderful works? And that's right, okay, showing you how important that name is. How can you prophesy? How can you say that you are prophesying if you're not prophesying in the name of Yahweh Shai? How can you cast out demons? Cast down the imagination of this kingdom? Cast down the strongholds that are in this kingdom without the name of Yahweh Shai? Okay? But these other camps, you know, IUIC, ISUPK, because what these people are doing is straight wicked, man. You know, it's unbelievable how you can say that the name of the Most High and His Son don't matter, but yet their leaders want to be called Commanding General Yahana, you know. They want to have those titles before their name. Bishop Nathan, you know, they want to have those titles before their name. You can't call them mates. You can't call them, you know, any nickname you want, because their followers will start getting mad at getting on you for that. But when the men of Great Millstone get on these other camps for, you know, using the incorrect names when speaking about the Most High and His Son, these camps now they have been talking about how, oh, we don't know the true names. You know, they are talking about Hebrew, you know, Hood Hebrew, you know, Ebonic Hebrew, that kind of thing. But you know what the scripture says, that wisdom is justified by her followers. I believe that's how it goes, you know. They have to do anything, I've forgotten how it goes. Wisdom is justified by her followers, or wisdom is justified by her followers, something like that. That's basically it, man, you know, because a lot of our people are going to get skipped. In other words, they're going to be destroyed. Okay, because the church is not going to deliver every single Israelite, but it's going to be like, you know, Zechariah 13 verse 8, right? The 1/3 and the 2/3, okay? Which of course is mainly going to Babylon the Great. And it's also going to be a deliverance of all the other of the elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, you know. All of the hopeful elect the Lord really are part of that number that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, okay? And it's funny because there's a video that I did going into this, you know. Last week after the camp, and that last week camp was a beautiful camp, I'm not going to lie, okay? Last week after the camp, you know, I went to court the next day, Saturday morning, and I was going into it with this dude, man, and he was talking about exactly that. Alright, this is a Christian that hasn't, you know, that as far as I know, he hasn't yet spoken or seen the Hebrew Israelites, and he was talking about how, you know, Lord Yahweh and the chariots are going to deliver the elect, okay? The elect of the nation of Israel from the four corners of the earth. And that's beautiful, right? That's a faith builder. The Most High is coming for us, man. You know, that's through the Spirit. You know, we believe that 100% our Lord Yahweh is coming, and He's coming for His elect. You know, Lord, really, if I put that number, we can say the Most High is coming for us. You know, but Lord, really, we endure unto the end so that the Most High can come and deliver us. All right, so I guess I'm going to have to end it right there. So with that, all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh, Ba'asham Rachak Wadash, Wa Abad Babal, Shalom. Shalom.